Tonight on Animal House, the SPCA races to save newborn puppies dumped in a rubbish bag.
So these guys are so cold that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my body heat to warm these little guys up.
An abandoned ram gives inspectors the runaround. And a large beast gets himself in a fine tangle.
Nah, you got no show holding it. We're just going to chase him around all day like this.
In central Auckland, the SPCA has been called to a supermarket where a security guard has stumbled across some abandoned animals.
G'day, I'm Herb, Auckland SPCA.
Oh, hi,
you found some
Herb.
kittens, mate?
Yes.
Just get off the road, yeah? Where did you find them?
We found them down in the underground car park, left in the bag.
All right, well, let's go and have a look, eh?
Okay.
How long ago did you find them?
About an hour and a half ago.
Okay. So they were just left over here, were they?
Yeah, just over here.
Okay, where are they now?
They're in this bag
Oh, they're still in the bag?
The bag has been left unopened for at least an hour. It doesn't bode well for the animals inside, which are not kittens.
Teeny weeny little puppies. They're very, very cold. They're newborn. We're going to get these guys straight up to the vet. It looks like the people have just scooped them up and dumped them, just with the everyday household rubbish.
Some of the puppies haven't survived.
That one's died. That one's died. That one's still alive.
The surviving puppies are dangerously cold. Herb fears for their lives, so he takes emergency action.
So these guys are so cold that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my body heat to warm these little guys up, and so that we can get them to the vet as soon as possible, so that they have got the best chance of surviving, and we need to hurry. Thanks, guys.
Time is critical if these puppies are to have any chance of survival.
Luckily there's a vet clinic just up the road here, because these guys they're like little popsicles, you know, they're so cold, they need their mother's heat and warmth to keep them going. They wouldn't be more than a few hours old.
In South Auckland, the SPCA has been called to a macabre scene on a rural property.
We can see there's a couple of sheep which have died. That one of them in particular looks like it's probably died some time ago. And we've got a live sheep which actually looks in pretty good condition. We'll see if we can catch the sheep. Don't know how easy that's going to be. Apparently the property has not had any tenants for several months.
Sasha is meeting a woman who called for help after discovering the sheep were not being looked after.
So we don't have a contact for the tenants.
I mean, the tenants just left.
It appears no one has been taking proper care of these sheep for some time.
So that's the water that they have in here.
Yeah, which
pretty
obviously
dirty.
hasn't rained for a while and it's not very clean, so.
And that's the only source of water around.
It has been, yes. Yep.
Don't know what these ones died of. Could have been a couple of days to a week. The other sheep over there obviously looks like it's been dead a little longer. It's a lot more decomposed, so it's almost impossible to try and find a cause of death of them. It's pretty stinky.
How these sheep died is a mystery. Sasha wants to get the surviving ram to a vet to ensure he is not sick too, but he seems determined to keep his lonely vigil.
Sheep tend to flock together. As you can see here, this poor sheep, he's hanging out with his dead mate. It's pretty sad. Don't know how easy this is going to be. So it looks pretty frightened. It's okay. Shh.
She's going to need help to catch this frightened ram. In a paddock in Flatbush, a large beast has got itself in a tangle.
He's a big Hereford, he is very big, and he has got wire wrapped quite tightly around his back left leg and a bit loose around his right leg.
An animal this size could be dangerous, so Todd needs to approach cautiously.
Hello.
I don't want to get too close to him because if he starts running it could actually cut into his leg and that might be the end of him, especially if it severs a tendon or anything.
If the wire is not removed, it could cause a fatal injury. But this is not a job for one man.
One person trying to move a 1,000 kilo Hereford doesn't usually work. Need a few more hands. Key to the arc.
So Todd is calling for backup.
Awesome, thanks for that.
At the Mount Albert Vet Clinic, all hands are on deck to save the 3 newborn puppies found dumped in a rubbish bag. The next hour will be critical for these pups.
Their umbilical cords are still wet, you know, they're not very old at all, you know, and I can't believe that people have been A, irresponsible and not spayed their dog, and B, you know, when they've had a litter like this, that they just dump them, you know. This is the part of my job that I find the most disturbing.
Whoever dumped these puppies committed a crime, and Herb will investigate. But for now, his focus is on their survival.
We've just got some hot towels now that they've just come out of the dryer. That's their biggest enemy at the moment, is the cold.
So there's 5 altogether?
It's 5 altogether, yeah. 2 of them are already dead when I got there.
It's so cold.
The puppies are also desperately in need of food.
So we're just trying to stimulate all the insides to do the right thing.
Well, Mum would obviously be really sort of licking them and stimulating them right now.
Come on. I know it's not the same as Mum, but it's the best I can do.
Good girl, you're swallowing.
These guys are in quite a lot of danger at the moment for not surviving. This particular boy, he's just not doing very well at all. It's just that stimulation that the mother would give them that they just didn't get. And it's that stimulation that gets the blood flowing, it gets the organs going.
One of the male pups is fading fast.
We're giving this little guy what is called Dopram, and it's just trying to stimulate the breathing a little bit better because he's really just not breathing particularly well on his own, so that's why I'm giving him some oxygen as well.
But he's not responding to treatment.
We've stomach chewed him now and given him 3 mils of warm milk into his stomach. We've given him something to stimulate his breathing, and he's not really responding. We'll probably give him another 10-15 minutes and then make the call really if he's not.
Yeah, it may just, you know,
it may just be that
been a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Alright, little dude, come on. But it's really touch and go for this little guy now.
2 of the puppies rescued from a rubbish bag are responding to treatment. But their brother is struggling.
So this little puppy is the one that we're having trouble with, and when it first came in it did have a little bit of blood around its nostrils, and that blood is now getting a lot worse. So we think that he has aspirated some milk, so we're going to have to euthanize him. Poor little guy. So not a very nice end to a pretty horrible situation.
No, but these 2 are doing really well.
Yeah.
Their body temperatures come right up.
The surviving pups are no longer in a critical condition, but will need round-the-clock care to survive the next 24 hours.
Bonnie and Clyde have decided.
Yeah, that's Clyde.
They're pretty tough, weren't they?
Yeah.
SPCA vet nurse Kirsty Gore has volunteered to take the puppies home with her for the night.
So we've given them every chance now, and let's hope that they make it through the night.
In South Auckland, Inspector Sue Bourdet arrives to help Sasha catch the abandoned ram. Catching sheep is never easy, but this ram is a real challenge.
It's kind of sweet how he keeps going back to the dead one, eh? Poor thing.
He's giving both inspectors the runaround.
All right, my turn.
Finally, he makes a dash towards Sasha, and she's got him.
Got him. Well done, Sasha. It's all right, mate.
No, you don't. Now we don't want to move at all. Come on.
It's unclear what killed his paddock mates, but hopefully it's not too late for this ram.
Oh, don't know who's more exhausted, me or the sheep.
The newborn puppies dumped in a rubbish sack have made it through the night, but their grip on life is still fragile.
So they survived the night last night. I was up every 2 hours feeding them. And they're feeding well and they're peeing and pooing well, so they're looking really good. Rather hungry now, so we'll give them a feed.
They will need weeks of round-the-clock nursing before they are in the clear.
Just toileting them, they just need a little bit of stimulation just to help them go. Their mother would usually lick them, so this is just exactly the same. Feeding them every 2 hours is a bit of a big job, but hopefully if they pull through it'll all be worth it.
Across town, Inspector Vicky Border arrives to help the tangled steer. And she's brought extra help.
Hi, Todd.
Cool, here's Mike from Animal Control. Looks like he's got some bolt cutters, so that will be handy.
Vicky's brought a bale of hay to lure the animal.
See if he's going to walk over.
But will he take the bait? Mike moves in, but the big fella is having none of it. The rescue is proving difficult, and incredibly, this is not the first time this has happened.
I've been to this property 6 months ago. Pretty much the same thing happened. Injuries like this, if left unattended, can, as from experience, I've seen a whole foot hoof fall off. Gradually infection, etc. has just rotted away the hoofs. And they've got to go through this paddock and get all this wire up.
I know.
This is the second time.
It's trying to get hold of the owner. We've got the owner details, but it's gone to answer phone every time I've tried.
Mike finally gets hold of the end of the wire and tries to uncoil it. But he's no match for this huge beast.
Nah, you got no show holding it. We're just going to chase him around all day like this.
Get tired.
So will we. He's got 4 legs, we've only got 2.
The only option left is to tranquilise him so the wire can be safely removed.
I don't want to risk getting injured, so I'll get a vet out.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
3 weeks after rescuing the newborn pups dumped in a rubbish bag, Herb's checking on their progress. And they are thriving.
Yeah, the pups are getting on really well. They've gotten absolutely huge, which is great. They're, eating well, their eyes have opened.
They're still on milk, still getting bottle fed every 2 hours, but just trying to mix in some solid food so we can slowly wean them off.
Kirsty has gone above and beyond the call of duty in her care of the pups, known as Bonnie and Clyde.
I'm really attached to them now, really attached. When you get up during the night and it's so intense all the time, you can't help but fall in love with them.
At the shelter, the ram needs a health check before he is allowed to mingle with other animals.
What we'll do is we'll drench him and vaccinate him and just leave him in quarantine for about 7 days. And if he's healthy and his temperament's okay, then we'll definitely rehome him.
Really feel for this poor sheep. Don't know how long he'd been on his own since his mate had died, and being a flock animal, they do need to be with other sheep. And now that he's here at the SPCA, we're going to have to keep him on his own for another 7 days for the quarantine. So hopefully after that, we'll mix him with some other sheep and he'll be feeling himself again.
After a month of steady progress for Bonnie and Clyde, Kirsty has some worrying news.
They're in separate cages at the moment because Bonnie's not doing very well. She's come down with vomiting and diarrhoea this morning, which we're not really sure what's going on. Sending off some fecal samples to the lab to find out what we're dealing with. She went down really quickly. This morning she was fine, barking, running around, and then within a few hours she was flat as a pancake. So really worried about her. Hopefully she'll pick up, but if she doesn't, we'll have to think hard about not going any further with her. We've had them for 4 weeks now. I've only had 1 weekend off, so I'm rather attached to them. Put in so much time and effort with them. Really upset me to have to let her go, but she doesn't make any improvement by the end of the day, got no choice.
Under vet nurse Kirsty's care, Clyde continues to do well. But what is the fate of his sister Bonnie?
Bonnie had really bad vomiting and diarrhoea yesterday. Went downhill really quickly in the space of a couple of hours. Could hardly even stand up. She was so weak. We gave her some fluids under the skin, starved her for a few hours, and look at her, she's a box of birds. Still a bit of a mystery as to why she went downhill so quickly, but happy she's just still alive. Clyde's still got a little sister to play with. Definitely developed a lot in the last week. You see little changes every day in them. Oh, there you go. I've still got them at my house. The receptionist has taken them for one night and one of the other nurses has taken them for one night just to get them away from me. Come on, guys. They're becoming a little bit dependent on me like they would their mother. As it was, I only committed to one night to start with, and then all of a sudden it was the weekend, and then at that stage I was a little bit attached, and 5 weeks later they're still with me. So the next stage is for them to go out to foster. It'll be quite hard letting them go, but it's the best for them socially, so they'll be well looked after.
In South Auckland, vet John Prangley is attempting to tranquilise the steer so the wire can be removed from its legs. The drugs are in a dart on the end of a prod. It's a bullseye.
It's been jabbed now, which is nice and quick, and just got to wait probably 10-15 minutes for him to get a bit sleepy.
However, after 15 minutes, this heavyweight is down but not out. The wire appears to be unravelling, but he is still unapproachable.
Come on, mate, give up. A little bit worried because there is a creek down the back of the paddock there, but John's actually sneaking up behind him now, and...
Careful, John! Go.
He's got it.
Finally, the loosened wire slips off easily.
The wire was looped, so it wasn't actually tight enough to cut in, but if he had caught it on something, all it was going to do is pull like a noose, and so it would have just cut through through his tendon or right through to the bone.
But he's not out of danger yet. The tranquiliser may still knock him out, and he could fall in a dangerous spot.
We're just trying to head him off, because if there's a creek down there and he goes in it, it's going to be another huge job.
Meanwhile, the vet is returning with a tranquiliser reversal drug. It needs to be administered intravenously, which is a delicate procedure on an animal of this size. And he almost heads straight back into trouble.
Well, we've tried to give it the reversal sedation drug. The vet seems to think that he won't need it, that it obviously wasn't quite enough to knock him completely out, so we'll keep an eye on him for the next sort of 20 minutes or so, and then getting hold of the owners and let them know that they need to clean up this paddock.
After a week, the ram is ready to come out of quarantine. He's been given a clear bill of health, and he's getting groomed before being reintroduced to animal society.
Where'd you get this nice little fella?
So Clip, how are you?
All right.
This poor guy was abandoned. The owner's just done a runner, don't know when and don't know where to. He's such a nice sheep.
Yes.
We really want to get him out to a new home.
It'd be best to go out to a home where there is some ewes and that there for him. You've got a ram, you need girls for them. Otherwise, you need to get them neutered or castrated, really. Okay. Otherwise, they can be a little problem to you.
The poor ram, he's been pretty lonely this last week in isolation. He's been calling out to the other animals the whole time and really felt quite sorry for him, so we're happy that he can go and join some mates again.
He comes off lovely.
Unfortunately, there are no other sheep in here at the moment, but there are a few other critters in here to keep him company. Hopefully we can find him a nice flock of ewes and a new home. Come on, guys.
Bonnie and Clyde are now 5 weeks old, and it's time for Kirsty to give them up.
The puppies are off to foster this morning with somebody else. A bit sad about it, I'm going to miss them, but it's the best thing for them, so. Love you guys.
Hi. Oh, look at them.
Foster parent Jan Baker will take over the care of the puppies for the next month. It's her job to train them so they are ready for adoption.
Oh, look. Oh, hello, babies. Hello. Oh, look at you. Look
So
at
that
you.
one's Clyde.
Clyde.
And that's Bonnie.
Hello, Bonnie.
It's
been very hard to give them up.
It is.
Oh gosh, it's a real tribute to you that you're able to get them to this condition.
A few hairy moments.
A few tears?
Definitely a few tears. Oh, one last cuddle.
Oh, of course. There you go.
It's clear that Kirsty is finding it hard to let them go.
You've done a wonderful job. They just look beautiful.
Suddenly, it's all too much for her.
I know they'll be fine. I'm just upset because I'm.
Of course.
Gonna miss them.
3 weeks after rescuing the steer that got stuck in fencing wire, Todd's checking the farmer has cleaned up his act.
We had a good find straight away. We come in and found a whole lot of wire outside of the paddock, which is obviously they've cleaned it up and just put it over the fence, which is good. So I'll just go for a bit of a walk and check, make sure that there's nothing else untoward.
The wire is gone, and it's not the only thing the farmer has removed.
I'm really happy. Paddocks all been cleaned up. Even the wires coming along the raceway have all been straightened up so they're not hanging low to trip anything up. He's destocked off the property. The only two animals left is the Hereford. We actually got the wire off, and another one that's obviously been left here as a mate.
The big steer appears to be unscathed by his ordeal.
I've spoken with the owner, and he's very, very thankful that we've done this for him, and apologetic as well. Cooperated completely and has been really, really thankful to the SPCA for helping out again, so good result.
After 8 days at the shelter, nobody has shown up to retrieve the abandoned sheep. Sasha has named him Ponga after the place he was found, and today he is moving to greener pastures.
He leaps around a bit, so...
The lonely ram has been starved of sheep company for weeks, and he seems excited.
So I've arrived with Ponga at his new home, and it looks pretty flash, a lot flashier than the place I got him from anyway.
Animal welfare is fairly high up on my priorities, and I got a call from the SPCA saying that they had a ram that needed a home, and I've got the feed, I've got the area, and I've got the room, so I was more than happy to help out. I think Ponga's excited. He's just jumped the fence into my flock.
I would agree with you there.
And they seem pretty happy.
Well, he's been a widower for a wee while now, so...
He's making up for lost time.
Your babies.
Bonnie and Clyde have been at foster for 2 weeks, and Herb is visiting to check on their progress.
It's really good to see that Mango here has sort of attached herself to them, and it's really crucial as well, the fact that they grew up without a mum.
Despite an extensive search, the SPCA was unable to find who illegally dumped the pups, but it's a satisfying ending for these animals.
They're just going to be just beautiful family dogs. They've just been a real joy to have, really. I got the easy part, Kirsty had the hard part.
Yeah, she did. It's a real credit to Kirsty, the fact that they've grown up so healthy. She's put a lot of hours into them, and to see them now growing up and playing and being little dogs, this is why I do the job. You know, it's just so exciting and rewarding to see them like this. It just makes me want to take them home, eh?